About a week ago, I made this candy wallet, and everyone seemed to really like it, and to that I say, aw, thank you so much, I hate it, so I'm destroying it and I'm trying again. And sadly, not even the flap gets to survive. So here's what I'm doing differently. Last time I made this, I used the even peyote stitch, which is fine, but that meant that all the seams weren't uniform. So to fix this, I'm using the multi-stitch this time. While tedious, it guarantees identical seams all the way through. Next problem was that I kind of haphazardly followed the reference I was using, so this time I'm following it much closer. I want to get all the details on the back just right. Next is a small change. One side of the wallet gets a black edge while the other remains white to blend seamlessly into the flap. And for the flap, I'm making it longer using the odd peyote stitch, and I'm creating it separately from the bag itself and stitching it on. I think this turned out a lot better.
Comments like this always make me giggle. I see them all the time on TikTok, on other small businesses' videos, where it's these people that you know they're never going to buy what you have to sell, and they truly do not care. Yes, this is a Squishmallow. They truly do not care about your product and will probably never purchase your product, but they still want to leave a hateful little comment just to get some attention. It just doesn't make sense to me. You don't care if my bag opens or not. You just wanted to have something to say. You wanted to express your blind hate and rage that you feel. And that's okay. I hope you feel better.
Want a break from the ads? Want a break from the ads?
Rating how long it takes to make different candy projects. 2 to 5 minutes. 15 minutes. 25 to 30 minutes. Deadass 2 hours such a pain to make. Around 30 to 40 minutes. Like an hour and a half. Around 3 hours. Like 2 hours.
Your sister's going to jail. Have a little compassion.
And would you stop taking pictures of yourself? Your sister's going to jail.
Off the post, you ain't know, now you know, nigga. I take 4-4, nigga.
How to impress a non-guitarist. How to impress a beginner guitarist. How to impress an intermediate guitarist. How to impress an advanced guitarist.
I've said this before, but I don't often work with pastels. I much prefer working with neons or vibrant colors. But I've realized a lot of what's in my wardrobe is actually pastel. So I wanted to create something that would match those pastel pieces in my closet. If you've seen my videos before, you definitely know what's going on here. I'm creating another star belt. I've grown to really love the first belt that I made, which is also made in pastel. But I was craving a rainbow version of my first belt. In fact, as soon as I finished the first belt, this idea was already in the back of my mind, but I thought if I made 2 star belts in a row, you guys might get a little bored. So I gave it some time, but I hadn't stopped thinking about it since then. I ended up creating 7 stars, 1 for each color of the rainbow and a second pink one. Then I attached the stars using jump rings, as well as a lobster clip to hook it to my waist. Here's how it turned out. I really like it. Now, usually I would never tuck in a sweater, but I thought it was appropriate to show you the belt more. I really adore this piece. Thank you for watching.
You can slap but can also stroke.
Going in the wind as an empty of the tree that is naked. It's verbatim and it's shaking.
Oh, thank God. I'll fake God, I'll fake God, I'll fake God. Today goes all my troubles on a burning pyre. All lit up and I start to smile. I've grown tired of this body. I come by some and heavy. I've been ghosting a lone ghost in the world. Well, it just started in the hay. With his long johns on, pub went a creeping up to the bottom to the hay.
Do me a favor and look at this for me. A green one. I suck at this so bad. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Oh, that one's lower. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Let me show you something cute and simple, okay? So, we're gonna string on a pattern of 3 beads with like an accent dividing them. The single should look like this. Now we had 3 beads between the accents, repeat that throughout the whole thingy, along the bracelet, and... oh my gosh, this is a tutorial, isn't it? Wow, this is way easier to do than I thought it would be. Anyway, tie, snip, tie it on and watch it snap, carefully restring it, pray to whatever higher power is appropriate at the moment, and just like that, you have an easy yet versatile pattern. I don't know what it's called, but it looks cute.
Please join me while I make my very first KANDI gas mask. That is a mouthful, oh my god. For ages, people have been requesting that I attempt this project, and I'm happy to say that I finally did it. I just really struggle with making Sub-Zero masks. I don't know what it is. Anyway, this is my pattern. You can find it on Patreon. It features my OC slate on the front, and I think that's pretty cool. Do keep in mind that this pattern is kind of small for a Sub-Zero mask. As you can see, it stops at my eye instead of my hairline. In the end, it comes down to preference, but I enjoy it more this way. It's a bit more form-fitting to my face. Anyway, I'm adding the air filter things. They're basically just mini cuffs with a small perler tied to the front. I went for something a bit more subtle and sweet because whenever I look up KANDI gas masks, I see really intense pieces, which is good and something I do want to recreate eventually. But I think this suits me pretty well.
For context, here is my wall of beads. Pony beads are almost definitely the cheapest beads. They cost me about 1/2 cent per bead. I buy them in bulk, so like I pay more money than just 1/2 cent, but it shakes out to about 1/2 cent per bead. And I think this is the most expensive bead that I have. It's a focal bead or a pendant, and it's like hand-carved wood, and it cost $10 for this one bead.
Light work, no reaction.
Light work, no reaction. Ooh. Okay, it's got a little kick. Oh.
Walking into the Eras tour with 87 bracelets, I'm ready to trade.
Why did nobody tell me that the Swifties have discovered KANDI? I want to be clear here. I'm very excited. I'm happy. Welcome. If any Swifties are seeing this, hello, welcome to the KANDI community. So from what I can tell, they're calling them friendship bracelets, and it has to do with like a Taylor Swift song where she talks about trading friendship bracelets as a way of like connecting with other people and feeling less alone, which is very similar to how ravers trade candy bracelets. I've also seen some like discourse about ravers being upset that Swifties are trading candy. Hot take, that's dumb. We should be inclusive. Everyone can trade candy. I did also want to give a couple of little like tips and tricks to anybody who is making bracelets for the Eras Tour and they're like, where do I get stuff? How do I do this? Just for context, here's my wall of beads. I've been making candy for like 4 years, and so I'm gonna give you a couple little like hints. First of all, if you are just looking for where can I get supplies to make friendship bracelets with, we call them KANDI with a K and an I. That's the rave term for it. We've been making these bracelets since the 90s. But if you want to just like go out to a store and get beads and stuff, I would recommend Walmart or Michael's. For the actual cord that you're using, the string, I recommend using cloth covered stretch cord. The clear plastic stuff will break really easily, and it also will dry rot after a couple of years. So if you want your stuff to last, you want to use cloth covered stretch cord, probably 1 millimeter or 1.2 millimeter. You could go down to like 0.8 millimeters. I wouldn't go smaller than that. You can get that cord at Michael's. You can get it at Walmart. You can also get it online. Or if you have time, I recommend going to beadtin.com. They have the largest selection of beads online, like plastic pony beads. They also have letter beads, and they sell them in like mixed packs, or you can buy one letter at a time. So if you're like always running out of the letter E, you can just buy a bag of E beads from Bead Tin. They also sell string. Additionally, when you're making your little bracelets, you can do all kinds of super cool things to make really, really cool little single bracelets. Like I said, I just got back from EDC, so here's a couple of like random examples I just pulled out of my bag because I'm still like unpacking. So you've got use of like little extra special beads, little flowers and hearts. You can also make little charms with perler beads and attach them to your bracelets. Here's another one. This one also uses tri-beads. That's those little 3-pronged beads to make a really cool looking texture. Or you can even attach little like toys to them. These come from Dollar Tree. If you want to learn more about KANDI, or you want to learn how to make more like big intricate pieces, I have a bunch of tutorials up on my YouTube, which is linked in my bio. And I also recommend looking into the history of trading KANDI and Plur.
Let them eat cake.
That's such nonsense. I would never say that.
It really is not that hard. Guarantee.
Let me give you an example using one of my free patterns here on KandiPatterns.com. Kandi Patterns is the only place that offers this like numbered system here, at least from what I've seen. If you look closely, you can see they actually number the rows for you. Row 1, row 2, row 3, and I understand how this could be intimidating. Take your string, fold it in half, and turn it to the side. Top string will be row 2, and the bottom string will be row 1. Row 1, row 2. You put that right like that. See? And when you put the string back together, we're back to row 1. Okay? And this only works with flat patterns, okay? Flat patterns only. And here's a better visual so you see the rows. To go up a row, we're going to put a bead on this string here. And then you put through the bead like that. Row 3!